Hey guys, here is a very common question type on the IELTS Speaking Exam. Particularly, it's in part 3. It's called a how plus adjective question. They ask it all the time, so the chances of you seeing it are very high. This is a question that you need to know, and you can learn it very easily. Why? Because it doesn't matter what the adjective is, how fast, how important, how incredible. The answers are the exact same for all of them. And you can learn these and use it no matter what how question they give you. Today they ask how important, tomorrow they ask how lucky, and you can answer it. Okay? So first, let's look at this full question. We have a long question, right? Sometimes it's hard to remember all of the words, what the question is about. But what are the main words? What are the key words? What are the question words in this question? That's important to remember. The question words are this. How important? So we have a lot more information, but the thing that you are answering is simply how important. And already you can know, we can say very important or a little important. But everyone knows those answers, right? And we want to get the maximum score. So how can you make it better? Let's talk about that. How important? So here I have on the right side, I have a 0 to 10 range. We'll make 10 be the most important, very, 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 very important. And 0 being, it's not important. Okay? So here's some common answers that you can give that answer the question, how? And I didn't write important because these go with any adjective. A little bit important, a little bit fast, a little bit interesting, a little bit smart, right? So a little bit important, where would that go? I think it would probably go about here, maybe a 3, maybe a 4, right? Maybe 2. Extremely important, extremely fast. Where would that go? Would it be a 10? I wouldn't put it as a 10. Maybe as a 9, maybe an 8, 9.5 even. Somewhat important. Now, when I say the word somewhat, my hand, I want to do this motion. Somewhat important. Brett, do you like apples? I somewhat like apples. So, where would this one go? It's somewhat important. I think, I don't know, maybe here, a little bit just above that, possibly, maybe equal to that, somewhere in this range. It's not an exact science. Unbelievably, here's a great one you can use. He is unbelievably fast. That girl is unbelievably pretty. Or my mother is unbelievably amazing at cooking, right? So, unbelievably, would that be a positive at the 10 or would that be a negative at the 0 or somewhere in between? This is a very strong word. This, I would make this a 10. Unbelievably important, because what it's saying is, it is so important that you wouldn't even believe how important it is. It's that important. It's unbelievable. Unbelievably important. Not important at all. Where would that go? Well, that one's pretty strong. Not important at all. That tells us it has absolutely 0 importance. The at all makes it strong and totally 0. What about not that? Not that important. we emphasize the word that. It's not that important. Well, this tells us it is important, but not that important. So he's fast, but he's not that fast. So this has a wide range, but I don't know. This could be also around here too. Maybe a 3, 4, 5. Now let's go into some more creative and advanced phrases that you could use for this. Before we answered it with little words, little phrases, extremely, somewhat, but we can also use some creative answers and phrases, and that can help you get an even higher score. So let's think about it. Remember, our question was simply how important. One thing we could do is use a superlative. Superlative meaning it's the number one. The most important thing ever. How important is exercise? It's the most important thing ever. So you're emphasizing your answer, and where would that go? That would go right up here at the top. What about fast? How fast? The fastest ever. He's the fastest player ever. As, you can compare it to something, and that way it gives the identifier as to how important it is. As means it is equal to something else. So you can say exercise is as important as breathing. Whoa, breathing is very, very important, extremely important. So that means you think it's way up here. Breathing is here, so that means the speaker thinks exercise is equally important, also there. Or you could say it in a lower meaning. You could say, it's as important as cutting your hair. Well, cutting your hair, maybe not so important. Your life doesn't depend on it, but it's nice to do, right? So this could be anywhere. We'll say, it's as important as eating the proper food. We'll put it there. Terribly. Here's another one-word adjective, and this is a great one to use because it's interesting. You know that the word terrible is a synonym for bad. It has a negative meaning. But if we use this in an adverb form to describe an adjective, it emphasizes it very, very strongly, and we can use it in a positive meaning. For example, how important is regular exercise? It's terribly important. That would be equal to saying it's extremely important. It's very, very important. So that's a great one. How fast is he? He's terribly fast. Very, very fast. Last one, more than. You can compare it to something. It's more important than taking a shower. It's more important than making your bed. So again, whatever you compare it to here gives it its rating, right? If I say it's more important than making your bed, well, maybe for you making your bed is here, maybe for you making bed is there. It depends. If you say it's more important than taking a shower, maybe it's a little bit higher. Taking a shower, maybe you consider to be here. So if showering is here, regular exercise would be there for you. It's a great way to show your answer and show your English. Remember, this is not a knowledge test. They're not asking you to see if you get the right answer on this exam like in school. This is an opportunity for you to demonstrate your language. They're asking that question, how plus an adjective on person, to try to pull out your language and see what you have. So it's your chance to show them. What about completely useless? I put a star here because this one is unique only to this question about important. How important? This matches that because we know the word useless means not important at all, and completely emphasize it even stronger. So we have the synonym useful for important, right? Something that is useful is usually also important. So if we say something is useless, that tells us automatically it's not important. And we add completely to make it even lower, even less important. So completely useless, we can put that all the way at the bottom. It's not important at all, or it's completely useless. So for each how plus adjective, there probably will be a few specific ones just for that. You can play with synonyms and antonyms for the adjective they gave you, and you can come up with some unique ones that fit exactly that question and that phrase. I hope it's useful. If I showed you more, we would be here all day because there's about 1 million answers that you can give for this. But you want to think about more creative ways, more advanced ways of answering how plus an adjective. Don't just say very, or it's a little bit, or not important. Say something better. There's many choices for you.